Urbana. This proud Midwest city swells to one of the great tailgate scenes in all of college football. A traditional march for the hometown favorites. A road trip for redemption for the maize and blue. Under the lights in the Big Ten.
Feeling good, baby.
It's the 10th-ranked Michigan Wolverines versus the 17th-ranked Fighting Illini from Memorial Stadium. Welcome, just outside Memorial Stadium. This venerable old structure built in 1923. And tonight it'll be filled to capacity, 73,000 strong. You know, because of the rotation in the Big Ten Conference, it's been 5 years since Michigan has come here to play. But after last year's astonishing upset up in Ann Arbor, I have a feeling that a lot of people that wear maize and blue also have had this date marked on their calendar. Kurt Kepner, of course, was the young guy who directed that 28-point comeback last year for the win. Last week he was injured. He sprained his knee against California. This week he's been wearing a brace, and he says, "Don't ask me about it. My knee is just fine." The question mark at quarterback tonight is for Michigan, and that, of course, is Drew Henson. He injured a foot back in the preseason. He has been rehabbing. He worked out this week, but Coach Carr said it'll be right before game time before we make a decision on whether he plays or starts in this one tonight. When I return, Mike Gottfried and Adrian Carson will be here, and we'll have more on tonight's game between Illinois and Michigan. Seem to be going as scripted. The 9th-ranked Wolverines take themselves to an impressive early 27-7 lead. But the Illini proved to have some fight left, stunning the maize and blue, scoring 28 points in the final 18 minutes, letting Michigan know it was their time to shine. But the A train has arrived in Champaign. Anthony Thomas is set to explode and put an end to the Illini's 7-game win streak. Play a lot of night games in the Big Ten Conference, but I can tell you the home folks here for the Fighting Illini are totally pumped and ready for this one. And these young men in the maize and blue from Michigan, they have not forgotten what happened last year in the big house, their backyard. Number 10, the Wolverines coming down to take on the number 17th ranked Fighting Illini of Illinois. Kurt Kepner, he is the guy who directed it all last year. Look at the numbers he finished with in that ball game. 4 touchdowns, 24 of 33 for 280 yards. Hello once again, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried as usual. And the big question tonight, we have been trying to find out who is going to play quarterback for Michigan this evening. You've been down on the field. What's the verdict?
Yeah, I believe John Navarre will start this football game, but we're going to see Drew Henson. They said he's cleared. He can't play the whole game from start to finish, but he can play a little bit tonight, and I believe we'll see both of them.
Mike, let me ask you something. This is not only an artificial surface here in Champaign, but it's a very hard one. Will that dictate part of the decision on how much he plays?
You'd think it would, because it's really hard, but I think Drew Henson's playing in this game one way or the other.
So, on the other side of the line, as far as Kurt Kepner is concerned, he's wearing the brace, but he seems to be just fine. As you look at Michigan, and they prepare to open this one tonight, their head man has as good a record as anybody against teams in the top 25. In fact, even better. 6 seasons, almost 79% his winning percentage. And Ron Turner, what a marvelous job he's done here. And you say, well, those numbers are not that impressive. Folks, consider he was 0-11 his first year. And last year, they not only smashed Michigan up in the big house, they were rough on a lot of opponents. The weather could be a factor tonight. Possibility of thunderstorms. And the wind, it only shows it blowing 8 miles an hour, but it is very, very gusty. Illinois won the toss and they deferred. Michigan will receive. This is Neil Adams who will kick it off. And you look into the face of number 8, Walter Cross, who prepares to return it for the Michigan Wolverines, along with Justin Fargas. Fargas last week with his longest career return in that UCLA game, where he had a return of 34 yards. Neil Adams comes forward, and this one is underway. Going to go out of the back of the end zone, and let's go down to the sideline and check with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, thank you very much. You were spot on with your diversion as far as Michigan is concerned. John Navarre will come out and start at quarterback. Lloyd Carr, in conversation prior to kickoff with me, said, we have the confidence in him. Obviously, his teammates do as well. The one hang-up they have about Drew Henson tonight, and he will get some time, is absolutely right, is if this field gets wet, he has the option later on when he gets in the game of wearing a higher top shoe. He also has a 2-ounce pad inside of that shoe that helps relieve some of that discomfort, Ron.
All righty, we look forward to hearing from you tonight. Adrian, first down, first play. No surprise here. They're going to get behind that big burly offensive line and run the football. Terrell Washington on the stop for Illinois. So the freshman out of Cudahy, Wisconsin, a psychology major, it is John Navarre. He has the A-Train, B.J. Askew, David Terrell, a great one. No defense this year, just offense. Marquise Walker, and the tight end is Jopru. We'll take a look at that offensive line in just a moment. Gain of about 4 in the first play. Second down and 6. Bellamy in motion, but they keep it on the ground again, and they hit at the line of scrimmage again. It is Washington. So Terrell Washington with back-to-back tackles. The offensive line for the Michigan Wolverines. Backus, Hutchinson, Brandt is the center, Mast and Maurice Williams. And Mike, they are veteran and they are big.
Ron, this is the strength of the Michigan football team, and they're going against an undersized defensive front led by Fred Wakefield.
Washington already has recorded 2 tackles in the early going as it's third down, and the line make, of course, is the 30. First pass, got it complete. There's Terrell. Anthony Hurd pushed him out of bounds, but it's going to be a gain of 8 on the play. Schumacher, they really like him. He's young, only a sophomore, but he makes a lot of plays for them. Robert Franklin and Mike Young. And in the secondary, Wilson and Waller, the corners, they really like the athletic ability of Waller. And the glue, well, it's Abdullah. He is the veteran, and he gets them in the right alignments in that secondary. Bobby Jackson, the strong safety. Good look at Muhammad Abdullah, Jr. out of Barnegat, New Jersey. Draw play. Thompson has 5, has 10, cut it off at about 13 yards, and there was a marker down at the line of scrimmage as Wakefield tripped him up. Bill Lamonier, the referee tonight, of course, from the Big Ten. Coach Carr giving some instructions to David Terrell. And
yeah, go ahead.
So you hear the call. Not enough men
On the line of scrimmage, and I think that's probably what he was telling David Terrell. But John Navarre, Lloyd Carr said he was really hurt by last week's games. He really took it hard, the UCLA game.
Well, he got his first pass complete tonight and looked very good in doing it. Play action this time, and he sets deep in the pocket. Down the sideline, tip that was almost intercepted as Bobby Jackson cut in front. David Terrell, the intended receiver. Terrell, I mentioned in the starting lineups, made key interceptions last year on the defensive side of the ball, but Coach Carr said this year we want him on offense because he is 6'3", and maybe a tad more, and a great leaper.
He may be the best receiver in country, and you saw Bobby Jackson, number 2, one of the safeties, get underneath Trayvon Waller. So they're going to try to double him as much as they can and help number 8 Waller.
Second down and 15. They had gained 12 yards on that running play, but the 5-yard penalty wiped it out. Right at the middle, big opening this time, and again, it is the A-Train, Anthony Thomas, the senior out of Winfield, Louisiana. Abdullah and Jackson combine on the stop, and it's another 12-yard run. No flags this time.
Well, you talk to every Michigan coach, they said in that ball game last year against Illinois, it was 27-7, and he had Anthony Thomas broke his hand, and he said they weren't right after that ball, after he got hurt, and it just so much of a leader for this Michigan team.
Well, Michigan tried to get somebody on late, and they got him off the field. If he had stayed, he'd have gotten the 5-yard penalty with the new rule this year, Mike. On third down, swings it out of the backfield and threw it just a little bit behind Thomas.
Ron, this is a game where you got 2 quarters. With this wind is really active. You throw your short stuff, which is Michigan, going into the wind. You throw your short stuff when you're going into the wind. Throw your long stuff 2 quarters when you're with the wind.
Hayden Epstein, you can see, averages almost 40 yards a boot. Eugene Wilson is the single safety for the Fighting Illini. And it's a fake. Running right up the middle is Cross, and Cross in the secondary breaks the tackle at the 35, and he's free. He'll take it all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Had to see something in the tapes of Illinois early in the season in one of their first 3 ball games to get this wide open. Walter Cross, the up back, the snap was right to him, and they really opened this thing up. Punter does a good job of faking like it went over his head, and then you see Walter Cross against Eugene Wilson in the secondary. Good call. And Ron, with this wind, that is an excellent call, because if you punt, it's not going to go that far anyway.
Well, that's the truth. So Lloyd Carr, not known necessarily as a guy who has a bag of tricks, but every once in a while comes up with something that could be huge in breaking the ice in this ball game. From inside the 20, straight ahead, Thomas tackled at around the 16-yard line. It's Mike Young, a senior out of St. Louis, the weak side linebacker.
I think this is going to be a ball game of 2 offensive lines. These may be the 2 best offensive lines in the Big Ten. Michigan got 3 fifth-year seniors in their offensive line. Illinois is a very solid offensive line.
Well, those 2 guys you were just looking at, a case in point. Backus, 4-year starter. Hutchinson, 4-year starter. Mast, also a 4-year starter. Play action. Nice job of the defense to stay at home, but he's got it complete. That's Joffrey, the tight end, and Young will make the tackle on him. Not enough for the first down.
John Navarre, when we talked to him yesterday at the walkthrough, he said he stayed at Michigan this whole summer and prepared himself. And we were standing there with Drew Henson. He said, you know, I'm sorry for what happened to Drew Henson, but it's my opportunity. And he's making the most of it, Ron. He really is.
10th play of the drive, and this is just the way that Michigan would like to script it. Run the football, eat up the clock. Bellamy in motion, the 3rd wide receiver in the ball game for the Wolverines, and the quick pass, got it over the middle, tackled at the 2-yard line. Marquise Walker, 1st and goal, Michigan.
Well, Marquise Walker just now has a string of 16 consecutive games with a catch, and he benefits from David Terrell on the other side, because you've got a single Marquise Walker, and that's exactly where John Navarre found that slant.
Let me correct one thing I said. Mast, not a 4-year starter. He's a junior, but a kid who has really stepped up for them, number 72, who plays at right guard position. 1st and goal for Michigan. Straight up the middle, spinning, touchdown, Anthony Thomas. Joffrey, number 83, was the man in motion. He was the lead blocker.
When you blow a 27-7 lead, you remember it, and that's what happened last year. And you talked about it in the open. They've marked this date, and so you come in here, you take a couple chances early in the ball game to fake punt, because you want to get on this football team at their house.
Hayden Epstein knocks it right down the middle, and now here comes a flag in late.
I think they roughed him. Trayvon Waller. Hey, with this offensive line, well, Mike may consider taking it.
What makes this drive even more impressive is they are given the options on the far side of the field. This is 11 plays, 80 yards, and consider one 12-yard run was called back in there.
On the defense, that penalty is declined. The 18 is good.
You get penalized 5 yards, so they have a 1st and 15 instead of the gain. Anthony comes right back with another 12-yard run, and they punch it into the end zone. So there's a timeout on the field with our new score. It is Michigan on the board first, 7-0. We'll be right back. Coach Morrison, the special teams coach, pacing the sideline. He's got to be very pleased. And after this kickoff, we will show you that fake punt again. But boy, that thing was a thing of beauty, the way you draw it up.
Ron, one thing Illinois has to be concerned about, if he gets this kickoff up high, it's going to blow a little bit back. So got to be ready to make a fair catch.
Epstein's kick, and he keeps it on the ground. Squibbed and picked up at the 22-yard line, and a return almost back to the 35-yard line.
The wing back Larry Foote, you're going to see him right here. He's going to trap the down lineman. So they knew something in tape, and look at that hole. You could drive a truck through that thing. Walter Cross into the secondary. Well designed, well blocked. Sometimes you got to change your fronts a little bit from game to game so that you don't get in a position where they can draw a bead on you.
Kirk Kittner goes under center as Illinois is out very quickly, and that is Harvey breaks it into the secondary, and it's going to be a gain of very close to 10 yards in the play as Larry Foote will make the tackle. So the starters, Kittner injured last week, strained knee, but is wearing a brace, and he says he's just fine. Harvey, Jameel Cook, who was outstanding last week, Walter Young, wait till you see this young giant. A quarterback who now plays wide receiver, Greg Lewis on the other side, and Josh Whitman is the tight end. That is Young, number 18, to the top of the screen. Harvey, who gained 10 yards on the first play, takes it across the 45-yard line and then gets cut down hard by Anthony Jordan. And the Illinois offensive line, Sullivan, Kulaga, Butkus, Redziniak, and Pashos. And who do they go up against?
They're
Mike?
going up against a good defensive line. Grant Bowman, number 60. When I was talking to Ron Turner practice the other day, he said he's so active, he concerns them very much.
Take a look at the linebackers in the secondary in just a moment. Second down and 8 for the Fighting Illini. Kittner's first pass, throws it back, and very wisely threw it low to Greg Lewis because he could see creeping up was Victor Hobson, number 6. Hobson, Foote, Brackens, and Coleman are the linebackers. And in the secondary, Whitley, well, he is a captain. He's the best cover guy, and really, I guess you would say that he is the glue in that secondary, just as Abdullah is on the Illinois side of the ball. Third down, line to make, just inside the Michigan 47. Michigan comes tight at the line of scrimmage and then drops off as flag comes down.
Prior to the snap, ball start, offense. 5
Michigan
yards.
jumping around on defense, I think bothered the offensive line. Marquise Sullivan.
Well, there were a lot of pro scouts out at practice here on Thursday.
They like Sullivan.
Yeah, they do like Sullivan. He's one of the guys that you could see the scouts watching the offensive line, and they were jotting down things. Kittner gets it away. He really got popped as he throws the pass. It's overthrown. He went down hard at the 31-yard line. Moorhead was the intended receiver, sophomore out of Deerfield, Michigan.
Jeremy Lasser, number 21, comes on a blitz, takes Kittner to the ground. Good pressure by Michigan's defense.
Steve Fitz back to kick, averaging just about 40 yards per boot. And with the wind at his back, this one, good heavens, what a kick. Receiver runs away from it. It'll go into the end zone, as that's going to be a 59-yard boot. So let's take a timeout. 9:51 left in this opening quarter. It's Michigan 7 and Illinois nothing. 7-0, Michigan on top by way of the 42nd career touchdown by Anthony Thomas, his 5th of this season. Threatening weather in the area. Hopefully we're going to be able to get this thing in and it stay dry this evening. Second offensive possession by the Wolverines. They go with the draw play right up the middle, and he's going to have close to 10, now 11 yards in the play as Abdullah and Jackson come up to make the stop on Anthony Thomas, and they have not found a solution for him so far.
And they're going to struggle all night on this. And you look at 1999, this is an anemic rushing attack by Michigan. They really went into spring ball and said, we've got to run the ball better with this offensive line. They're leading the Big Ten with 260 yards average on the ground.
But again, they come in with 2 tight ends. Thomas now 6 carries for a total of 33 yards. This time going to be stopped just short of the 35 as Bobby Jackson, number 2, the junior out of Corvallis, makes the stop, and unofficially we have him with 4 tackles already.
And what happens now, Ron, is Michigan is establishing the run, and that means now you can't bail out a linebacker or a safety on David Terrell. So now Terrell becomes a weapon in the play-action passing game, and John Navarre now doesn't have as much a rush on him because of the running game.
Here's David Terrell. He is the man at the top of your screen. Well, Michigan is averaging almost 10 yards per rush, and this is going to up it. Anthony again holds across the 45 to the 50. That's Robert Franklin holding on for dear life. That is a 17-yard run.
And you talked about all the pro scouts that were out watching the Illini offensive line. I walked to the game with a couple, and they said, you know, we're looking at about 3 Michigan offensive linemen, too, as Anthony Thomas just breaks through in the secondary. The A train is moving.
Good look at big Jeff Backus, a senior out of Norcross, Georgia, 6'6", 299 pounds. Nothing to the left. He's going to take it to the right. And again, Bobby Jackson coming up to make the tackle. By the way, if you're asking the question, why all blue at home, they have not done that this year. Last year against Northwestern, the only time that they came with these uniforms.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but this game's young.
From the 43.
Well, it's...
They better find a way to stop this running game.
The game may be young, but the night may get long. About to go into 8 minutes left in this opening quarter. 2nd down and 4. Big opening to the left side, and he's going to take it close to the 35-yard line again. Robert Franklin on the tackle, but that time Backus just collapsed his side of the line.
Well, this is what Stan Parrish, the offensive coordinator, wants. You go into the wind, and I'm anxious to hear from Adrian and tell us exactly how this wind is down on the field. But it looks to me like it's really a heavy wind. But Stan Parrish wants this quarter where you're going into the stiff wind, run the football, throw the short passing game, and then when I get the wind at my back, I'll air it out to David Terrell.
Thomas in the first quarter, 10 carries, 65 yards. Walter Cross, number 8, has just come in to replace him. Flag is down. Cross, the youngster who took the ball on the fake punt here in the opening quarter, for the big gainer to set up that first touchdown.
Prior to the snap, ball start, offense, 5 yards, still first down.
And let's check on the sideline with Adrian. What do you got for us?
In answer to Mike's question, as Michigan's offense gets closer to their end zone, they cross the 50-yard line, they actually having a big advantage from the Jumbotron that is acting as a windbreak. Now, obviously, from the 50-yard line back to the goal line that they are defending, the wind is coming over the top of there and coming in what really is the open end of this field. So the closer they get, the better off they are.
1st and 15 from the 41. Looks him down, throws it incomplete, and his knee came up and knocked the ball out of Walker's hands. Marquise Walker, the junior from Syracuse.
Ronnie's from Henninger High School in Syracuse, New York. Coach was Bob Campisi. 32-4, and I went to watch him play high school ball. We were in Syracuse on Friday night in Henninger High School, and got a chance to watch him. He played a little quarterback. He was all over the football field, but you could tell he's a great athlete.
You know, I asked Stan Parrish in our conference call, I said, how in the world did you get him out of Syracuse? And he said, recruited his mom, and he wanted to get away from home also. 2nd and 15, a little counter action, and this time Illinois is there. Number 42, Schumacher, comes up to submarine him and make the tackle.
Schumacher did a nice job, stayed at home, did not get faked out by the counter play.
So now it's going to be 3rd down and long, and really Michigan has not been confronted with this all evening because they've been gaining so much yardage on 1st down. This is the 8th play of the drive.
rushing in this first quarter.
Line to make is down to 26 of Illinois. Crowd coming to life as Navarre sets deep in the pocket. Great protection, and it is knocked down. Nice defense, Eugene Wilson. And again, as you mentioned, they had double coverage on David Terrell.
They're going to double him. You're going to have to throw to him on first down with that running fake. But you get in third down situations, you can forget David Terrell. Little crossing route, tried to get the ball to Marquise Walker. Nice job again by Eugene Wilson. Now they try to pin him inside the 10.
And this time he'll kick it. And you see the wind just knocking that thing down. On the run at the 15 is Wilson, and he'll take it to the 22, and that's all. As Seymour, the junior from Granger, Indiana, number 81, makes the tackle. 25 on the kick, 7 on the return. So we'll take a break. We'll be back with more from Champaign right after this. 7-0 Michigan. You see those guys bundled up with their hands in their pockets, supposed to go into the low 50s tonight. Mike, this was not the case last week. Michigan, when they played out in California, they said on the field it was 118 degrees, and not an excuse, but I think that hurt them in that second half.
Yeah, it cost them in the fourth quarter, but they still had chances to win that game.
Antonio Harris in the lineup. They play fake to him, and the pass caught at the 20-yard line. And a flag comes in. Jameel Cook is the man who got knocked out of bounds and got hit late.
Jameel Cook is a receiver out of the fullback position that Ron Turner wants to get the football to, and then Michigan picks up a penalty. I believe it was Larry Foote, number 17, is going to hit him out of bounds. See, as he gets to the sideline, yeah, it's Larry Foote, leading tackler. And now all of a sudden, Illinois with pretty good field position near the 40.
Jameel Cook, in talking with the coaches, is just a misplaced tailback, actually. But it was like 4.6 speed. They said he was a good blocker, so they wanted to have him in the lineup. And he had a really good game against Cal last week.
And he played well against Michigan last year.
Quick count. This one he played, makes it to the outside. Harris out across the 40 to the 45. And Brackens finally puts the stop on him. And Brian Kenny, let's check with you.
Ron, let's go to San Jose State and USC. Already with a 17-12 lead. Deontay Whitaker for San Jose State. Right up the middle. They beat Stanford, hung tough with Nebraska. They lead USC 24-12.
That's a Southern Cal team with a lot of talent, and a WAC team trying to make a statement to the pack.
You know, that San Jose team rushed for like 250 yards against Stanford. They were really impressive. This running play close to the first down. The second effort, I think, is going to get it for Antonio Harris. And this is just what the doctor would prescribe here, because as you see Henson throwing on the sideline, that Illinois defense has been on the field the entire first quarter.
Man, the strength of this Illinois offense is their offensive line, just like Michigan. They're second in the Big Ten in rushing, and this is a Michigan defense with a lot of injuries coming into this football game that's suspect.
Jameel Cook and Rocky Harvey is coming replacing Antonio Harris in the backfield. Kittner, short drop, whips it out on the flat. Whoa, that was almost picked off as Julius Curry cheated off just a bit and then came up quickly.
Boy, you had a shot at that when you all of a sudden move Rocky Harvey out as a flanker, and then Julius Curry reads this hitch pattern and almost picked it off. Kurt Kittner with a throw, and number 26 Curry with a good play.
Antonio Harris comes back into the lineup, number 31. That's Hodges, the tight end, in motion, moving along the line. And this one's going to be interesting. You can see Kulaga, the left guard, saying that Bobert jumped across and made contact. Not just a discussion, we're having a whole a convention on this one.
May be both of them. Michigan pointing that it's against Illinois, but they moved first, drew them.
Prior to the snap, the offense was in the neutral zone. That's a dead ball foul, 5 yards, still second down.
See the offensive line. Oh, I don't know. I didn't see any movement from our picture, but that doesn't mean there wasn't any. Left tackle, a little bit of hitch, but it's after Michigan moved.
So the penalty makes it second down and 15. And it's Harvey. Antonio Harris, I beg your pardon, going to take it across the 45. And later tonight at ESPN 2 at 9 Eastern, an SEC battle. Alabama takes on Arkansas. After a disappointing 1-2 start, Crimson Tide desperately needing to get the season back on track. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet.
Ron, number 86, Aaron Moorhead, is in the ball game. He's a good receiver. He's 6'3", and Kittner likes Moorhead a lot. Good pattern running.
From the shotgun on third down. Kittner looking. Now dumps it off, and that's Harvey. He'll take it into Michigan territory into the 45. That's still about 5 yards short. James Whitley makes the stop defensively.
Talking about Aaron Moorhead, who came into the ball game working against Whitley. You can see how open he is. But Kirk Kittner just couldn't find him and dumped the football off.
Steve Fitz in the punt. This one was a beauty. And this one is as well with the wind. Caught on the fly at the 12-yard line. And gets smacked down hard at the 20, Ronald Bellamy.
I think Michigan had too many men on the field. The penalty is dropped by the back judge, and usually he's counting them right now. No, I count 11. There's only 11 on there right now, unless somebody disappeared. There was a Michigan player trying to get off the sideline.
Yeah. And then there was a block in the back on a return.
We've had a lot of conferences here. Straighten it out.
First penalty was illegal substitution on the defense. 12th man was going off the field. Second penalty, fair catch interference, 2-yard radius. That results in an offset, 4th down.
We'll do it all over again. Michigan player trying to get off the field right here, and I don't believe he made it when the ball was snapped. Good call by the official.
So let's do it again. That first kick was 59 yards with the wind. Bellamy is the deep man as you look at Fitz. Angles this one for the sideline, and it is going to be touchdown at the 1-yard line.
I don't think they're going to give it to him, Ron. He's on the line when he touched it.
Well, that's Trayvon Waller. They like to use him for a little bit of everything. In fact, they have a play where they run him down and have him try to catch the ball if the deep back runs away from him.
Both coaches getting a little irate at the officials here early in the ball game.
Oh, and he touched it dead well outside the end zone. Yeah. I assume he is saying impetus took him into the his impetus took him into the end zone, and that's the reason that it came out to the
20. Trayvon Waller has to make the tackle on the running back, Chris Perry.
So So it's going to be 2nd down and 5 as Michigan clock runs about to hit 3 minutes left to play in this opening period. And every time they snap the ball, they are going forward. They have really not been stopped by Illinois except one play this first quarter. Draw play here. Again, there's 5 yards for Thomas. And somebody's got to go to the drawing board quickly.
Well, the best play that Michigan has so far in this first quarter is the draw, because it gets the lineman a chance to set, block, and then the defensive lineman, linebackers to set, and then they're on right away. And Michigan's got such big offensive linemen. You see right here driving down the football field, Maurice Williams.
Thomas in the first quarter, 12 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Chris Perry is the lone setback for the Wolverines again. He gets the handoff. They turn the corner. That's a nice job defensively. It looked like Mike Young, one of the first men to get outside, and also Wakefield.
But this is the kind of first quarter you want if you're Michigan, because into that wind, run the football, get this quarter over, and then open it up a little bit more on offense.
Lloyd Carp obviously very disappointed about last week's ball game because they jumped out big on UCLA. But a couple of things did not go their way, but particularly in the third quarter. Mike, I thought they had the interception. UCLA went on and scored on that drive. That turned out to be huge. Pressure. First sack of the night. And it's Moore. Brandon Moore, the junior, the carry in the end.
Beat Jonathan Goodwin, a backup. Number 78. John Navarre going back to throw. Just a missed block on Brandon Moore.
Third down, 17 yards to pick up the first down. Draw play. Thomas out across the 30, around the 31. Schumacher will make the stop along with Franklin.
What the other thing that happens when you run the draw, the receivers get to tee off on those corners too. Marquise Walker and David Terrell were just hitting the 2 corners of Illinois, so gives you a chance to be the aggressor.
Let's see what Epstein can do into the wind here. End over end on the kick. Caught at the 38 and very close to the violation as far as being too close again. 31 yards on the kick, and Wilson on the return. Well, a big day in the NFL tomorrow on ESPN. Chris Berman and the gang with NFL Countdown at 11 a.m. Eastern, with NFL Primetime at 7:30 for all the day's scores and highlights. Then it's primetime heat for Norm Turner's 1-2 Washington Redskins. The heat is on as they face the first place New York Giants. For more, log on to ESPN.com. So the Turner family going to get a lot of publicity this weekend.
Ron Turner not wanting to see his brother win a game real soon.
Play fake, pressure from the side, didn't pick him up in time, and it's Rumashek who comes in and makes the sack on Kirk Kittner. Adrian, let's check with you. What do you got for us?
Well, I have a reminder that Kirk Kittner has never been a scrambling type of quarterback. You know, he seems more comfortable and admitted pre-game that he feels more comfortable passing on the run. It's the little things when he does a straight drop back, has to plant that foot on rock hard turf and then step forward and throw the ball. That's where he's having a little bit of pain here.
Harvey, the lone setback. McGoey has come in at the wide receiver, and the pass is to him. Eric, a freshman out of Wheaton, Illinois, and that is probably going to be the final play of this opening quarter.
The tackle made by Todd Howard.
2 seconds and down to 1. So the first 15 is in the books. And the Wolverines of Michigan took the opening drive and were very impressive, going 80 yards. 7-0. We'll be right back. Well, as you look at the 2 Michigan quarterbacks, John Navarre and Drew Henson, how about these numbers in the first 15 minutes? Michigan, 141 yards, majority of that on the ground. Illinois, 40. Shotgun for Kittner this time. It's Jameel Cook just to his left. Kittner steps up into the pocket. Pressure from behind. it's complete to Walter Young, and he will take it across midfield. 15 yards in the play, and this kid is quite a story. Came in as a quarterback. He is huge. They say 6'5". He looks taller than that and really could run.
He's the #1 receiver for them now. Walter Young, number 18. But a great job by Kurt Kittner. Ron Turner said he has the best pocket presence of any quarterback he's coached. And he coached with the Bears, so that's talking about pros and college.
Walter Young, I asked the coaches, I said, is he bought into being a wide receiver? And they said, oh, yeah. He is our emergency quarterback, but emergency only. They fake the counter play. Kittner rolls it out. Gets some help from wide open at the 10, and he dropped the football. That was Moorhead. Oh, my goodness. Whew.
He couldn't be any more open. Aaron Moorhead just took his eye off football. And the Michigan secondary is breathing a lot easier. Good throw by Kurt Kittner. Good fake. Gets outside. Gets a good block out here by Kalaga. Here's the ball. Just took his eye off of it. Larry Foote, a linebacker, is the closest man to Moorhead.
Antonio Harris comes in. He gets the call. Spins around at the line of scrimmage. Takes it close to the 40. Julius Curry out of the secondary there to make the tackle. It was Bobert who got a hand on him, and he spun around.
Ron, Kurt Kittner was a quarterback and linebacker in high school. He broke his thumb his senior year. He played with a cast on, and he played linebacker. And I talked to him about it the other day. He said, I got the smartness of a quarterback, but I got the toughness of a linebacker. And he is a tough guy.
He is a tough kid, yeah. Third down situations. The Illini 1 of 3. Kittner pressure, gets by one, will not get by the rush of Bobert and also Larry Stevens, and he goes down.
Evan Coleman in there also. Blitz. Kurt Kittner comes into this ball game. You don't know about his knee. Michigan's going to blitz him. They're going to find out how much mobility he has with that knee.
And Illinois is not surprised by that.
No.
They thought that's exactly what the Wolverines would do. Mitch, his first kick into the wind is a very good one into that stiff breeze. Bounds inside the 5, and this time, no question, they down it. Inside the 5-yard line, that is Abdullah. Adrian Karsten, let's check with you again.
Ron, this turf here in Memorial Stadium went down in 1985. We've been talking about the turf tonight as far as both quarterbacks and their comfort is concerned. Basically, what you're talking about is a 15 or 16 season-old mat, half an inch of rubber underneath, and then asphalt just below that. There's a young man from nearby Champaign here in Urbana who played soccer on this field some 15, 16 years ago. He tore a ligament, logged on, asked Adrian with the key word at ESPN.com about the turf. Will be replaced next year, much like the Aquaplay turf that they're putting in at Nebraska.
Okay, Adrian, good stuff. Chris Perry in the backfield. They give it to him in short yardage. He'll take it to around the 5, and it was Washington who tripped him up.
Mistake by the Michigan punt returner. Anytime you're punting into the wind, you've got a fair catch that ball at the 10-yard line. He cannot let that ball hit the ground on this turf with this wind.
And this is one of those situations. You make a great point because you got to protect John Navarre because he's still a young fellow.
You're right. You know what's going to protect him? The running game.
Jeffrey in motion. Again, it's Thomas, though, this time, who has the carry short of the 10-yard line. It'll be third down, and they need to take it out to about the 12, 12 and a half.
Talked about Kurt Kittner. John Navarre in high school was a quarterback in defensive end. Now, how would you like to have your quarterback playing defensive end? Everybody trying to chop that big guy, 6'6". But he was 33-4 in high school. He attended Michigan camp and gave him a scholarship.
See if Thomas gets the ball or if they go to the air. Yep, it's Thomas right up the middle. Not going to have it. Tripped up just across the 10 by Long.
Now, I believe if Drew Henson was in the ball game and playing, they would open it up a little bit more. But your point, they're trying to protect John Navarre with the running game.
So Epstein, you don't look at those numbers and say he hadn't had a good night because he's been kicking into the wind. See what he does as he fumbles the snap and just tries to kick it with his left foot. It is touched inside the 5-yard line, and the Illini will have it 1st and goal. A low pass from center.
We got news for you, Ron. The numbers just got worse.
The amazing thing is that he was able to get a foot on it at all. And quickly, the Illini offensive team comes out on the field. Second man. Touchdown. Aided by a special teams mistake. The Illini with an opportunity to tie this one at 7. Extra point is up and good. So Rod Turner with a little bit more step in that stride, a little easier on the sideline as his team for the first 19 minutes of this ball game had been kind of under the gun. But right now it is, well, we're tied at 7 as you look at Miller, the long snapper.
Hayden Epstein was the punter. He kind of got a bad snap to the left, and he got his feet crossed up. But you always tell your kickers, Ron, when you're kicking out of your end zone, if you can't handle that snap, take the safety. Knock the ball out of the end zone. Don't try to kick this football here. Take 2 points. Don't give him 7.
You can see that was Moorhead who was right on top of him. So Moorhead dropped a pass that would have been 7, but helped his team get that 7 back. As J.J. Tubbs is the man who will kick it off for the Illini. Cross and Thomas, the 2 deep men. And again, they kick it on the ground into the wind. Ball is fumbled, scrambled at the 35. And Michigan got on it. Close call there.
Yeah, neither kickoff team into this win want to kick it up in the air because they figure it'll blow back to them, so they're going to squib kick it.
On the ball for Michigan.
Or made the recovery.
Number 53.
Ron Turner talking things over on the sideline with his quarterback.
Now, Ron, with this field position here, I think Michigan's got to get a little bit more mix now. Run and pass. Running the ball very well. Illinois now trying to play the run with 8 people.
Terrell to the bottom of your screen. Marquise Walker to the top. They keep it on the ground with the running play, though, and Anthony Thomas tackled by Bobby Jackson. I'll tell you, at the rate he's going right now, he's going to have 100 yards in the first half.
Yeah, but they haven't really taken advantage. Even all those rushing yards, one score. They've been hurt by penalties.
Well, he's got 87 yards now and 16 carries. But you're right. For the domination as far as time of possession and everything, Michigan seems as though they should be farther in front in this ballgame. And we are tied. Navarre looking deep. Over the middle. Well overthrown. Terrell was the man that he wanted, but double coverage on him. Eugene Wilson, one of the guys. Adrian, what do you have for us?
The wind is so significant down here right now, Ron and Mike. It's going to have something to do with who Michigan decides to go with the quarterback. They were ready to put Drew Henson in at the end of the first quarter because they felt they had to start throwing the ball more as they were heading into the wind, and they feel that he throws a tighter spiral into the wind than John Navarre does. Now, with that pass right there, you can see how deep Navarre threw it. They just feel that Drew has a better touch if they have to start throwing the football to beat Illinois.
This is a big one right here with a 3rd down and 7 because O'Mo is starting to lean over across the line of scrimmage. Navarre under pressure, going to try to run it, and he'll get what he can, and that's not much. Everhart on the stop.
And I would say the next series we're going to see Drew Henson. Now, not that John Navarre is not playing well, but just seems like he's lost a little confidence in this last series. So I would not be surprised Drew Henson comes in.
Good pass this time, and here is his boot. Spiral is not going to turn over. Catch made as a flag goes down at the 20. The 2-yard barrier was violated then. Wilson, 4 yards on the return, but they'll get 5 yards off the penalty. 39 yards on that kick.
Going back to the quarterback situation, when to insert a quarterback is big because you don't want to hurt the first guys.
Foul on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty administered from the spot of the foul. First down.
You don't want to hurt the first team quarterback's confidence because when you go to the second one, you pull him out for a reason.
All righty, so there's a timeout, and we'll take it with them. 9:58 remaining until halftime. Michigan and Illinois all tied at 7. Let's drive in. Welcome back. Kipner's numbers in the first half of play. 4 of 8 for 33 yards, and now he has the problem of throwing into the wind. Drew Henson throwing on the far sideline, and as Mike suggested, he also has the headsets on, so it would make you think that he's going to come in. As Harris sweeps the right side, nice job stringing it out defensively. 51 brackets. Junior out of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, has the tackle.
The first player to play for Michigan from Tennessee since Tom Goss in 1968.
And his little brother, Philip, is a linebacker as well. Wants to throw it, gets it away, got to complete to Lewis. Greg Lewis being shoved back. They're going to give him progress just across the 30, so it's going to be 3rd down and short.
And Greg Lewis will walk on here after the 98 season, earned a scholarship by Ron Turner. And again, Ron just short passes into the wind. Little option routes.
One of the things in watching Kipner in practice, and when they get back with the wind, you expect to see them go on top. He throws a long ball as well as any quarterback I've seen in a while.
He has receivers, though, that really don't have great speed.
It's Whitman in motion. They come with the blitz. The quick pass to Hopkins. He dropped the ball, and Harris, that's a live football. It is, well, we're going to have some bodies pulled apart. As Harris, great, it has to have been the hot route. They read it properly, and then he just dropped the football.
It's Illinois football.
You can see Walter Young shaken up on the play. The big wide receiver that we've talked about tonight came in as a quarterback. Look at this play again.
It caught him in a blitz, and somebody didn't come out here to play man coverage. Everybody has somebody on him in a man coverage, and he was just wide open.
Recovering a loose ball, Luke Butkus, number 71.
Luke Butkus making the recovery. They're not booing, they're saying Luke. So Antonio, really strange situation. Normally has very good hands. He just, that thing came loose.
Kept running too.
Well, if you say, well, the names are the same, yeah. And that's Uncle standing at the top of the stadium watching this game. NFL Hall of Famer, National Football Foundation Hall of Fame. And they gave him an award here in town yesterday. And you know what his response was? He said, when you get old enough, they can find something to give you every week. Lost this way. That's Jameel Cook. Got some running room. Puts a hook down on his Drake. 16 yards in the pass play.
Jameel Cook come into this football game with 9 catches. Great hands. You mentioned the former tailback. Undersized fullback, but he blocks very hard. They just sneak him right into the flat. Usually the fullback will block on that play, but they just release him in the flat. And Michigan couldn't catch up to him.
Coaches really like him. He's one of those type of kids that he just wants to play and help wherever he can, and he catches the ball very, very well. That's the longest gain of the night by Illinois. Kittner straight ahead. This is Harris across the 40, down inside to the 38, maybe the 37. Charles Drake defensively. Well, Thursday night on ESPN, it's college football tonight at 7:30 Eastern. Then it's a battle in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Chris Winkie and the #2 Seminoles battle the Maryland Terrapins. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet.
Good mix by Illinois in play calling.
2nd and 6. You see him coming with the blitz again. The quick looking pass, and it's Cook again. He is a very versatile guy. Hobson makes the tackle on him, and let's see where they spot it. I don't know if we're going to have a measurement or not. He's close to the first down.
Old San Francisco 49er play. They used to run with great success. Cook, number 34, is going to come out of the backfield. And you see the tight end now. He takes the linebacker out of the play. Now watch. Now the fullback comes right behind him, makes the catch for the first down.
Man at the top of the eye tries to squirt through on the left side. Nothing doing. Harris tackled that time. You can see number 6, Victor Hobson, one of the men on the bottom of the stack for Michigan.
Michigan defense that talked to the Michigan coaches. They're concerned, had some injuries, not sure how they were going to play on defense tonight. That's why they liked the fact that early in the ball game, Michigan's offense kept them off the field.
Kittner has hit his last 4 pass attempts. Cook in motion. Great protection. Got his man open, and the ball is incomplete. That was not a fumble. It was Greg Lewis, but he was embraced quickly by Charles Drake, and he couldn't bring it in and secure the ball.
That's a good hit by Charles Drake, number 24. No pressure on Kurt Kittner at all. Had forever and days to throw this football, but Charles Drake breaks on this football. It should have been caught. Good hit, strips him of the football.
So now it's 3rd down, and they need to take it down to the 22-yard line.
I don't think they can make a field goal from here in this wind also. Now, Adrian talked about as the closer you get to the goalpost, it's blocked by that jumbotron.
9th play of the drive by Illinois. We're tied at 7, and it's a draw play, and Harvey is not going to be close to picking up the first down.
Now it's decision time. Do you try the field goal?
What would you do, Mike?
Well, in pre-practice, both kickers kick into the wind and with the wind at their back, so they know how far he can kick it. They know now they got to go for this because he can't make it from here with this wind.
Well, into the wind, what we're talking about would be a 47-yard attempt. And Fitz has a very good leg, as does Tubbs, but boy, you add the wind on there, it'd be more like a 55-yarder.
And you chart all the kicks in pre-game, so they know where their distance is.
4th down. And as we said a play ago, they need to take it down to the 22-yard line of Michigan. Kittner, short drop, now pumps it once, going to go on top. And nice defense. That's going to be incomplete. As Todd Howard, the junior out of Bolingbrook, Illinois, had that one covered to a
That's big play right there, Ron, for the Michigan defense. Todd Howard did not bite on the fake and the pump to Walter Young.
So there's a break in the action. 5:41 left until halftime. He wanted Walter Young, but Howard said no. Let's drive in. So we're back to live action, tied at 7. Capacity House, last time they sold out was the last time Michigan came in here, 73,000. Play action as Navarre back in the game at quarterback and almost intercepted by Mike Young.
They're making sure, Illinois, that they get somebody under the route of David Terrell. Michael Young, the linebacker, number 52, sits on this play fake, first down, best down to throw for Michigan. Gets his hands up there, a little late throwing the football too, Ron. Timing was off on that play for Michigan.
So a very nice job by Tim Kish, the defensive coordinator for Illinois, particularly for the adjustments that they have made. Running play to Thomas.
They're doing a better job on the draw and the running game. But the reason they're doing a better job is Michigan is not throwing the ball effectively. So now you can camp in on the run game.
Carter on that last tackle, sophomore out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, number 55. As you look at Lloyd Carr, Lloyd has had tremendous success at Michigan, and particularly against teams ranked in the top 25. Third down, line to make, about a half yard beyond that 40-yard line strike. All the time in the world, and threw it complete.
He had two receivers.
I started to say that the receiver that cut underneath almost hit him.
Yeah. And he was more open than the receiver who threw it. Ronald Bellamy made the catch. And that's the concern of the Michigan coaches about John DeVar. Now, he's young, but they say that he will stare down and he looks where he's going to throw the football. But that all comes with age. He's 4 out of 10. I think he's done very well in his first 4 ball games.
Yeah, he has. Yesterday, he and Adrian instructed me on how to pronounce his hometown, which is Cudahy, Wisconsin. Chris Perry in the lineup, number 23. He gets the handoff right up the middle. Actually tripped over his blocker's foot as Bobby Jackson comes over to finish him off.
What I like about John DeVar's statistics is he came into this game with 8 touchdown passes, only 1 interception. So he's not making mistakes. He almost made one tonight, but he has not thrown the ball to the other team. So he gives his team a chance to win.
Clock running, about to go under 4 minutes until halftime, and stumbling in the backfield is Chris Perry, and that thing was dead from the get-go as number 99, Fred Wakefield, makes the tackle. And here's a young man that the pros like, but also the coaching staff love. Great work ethic, really good student, just an all-around good guy. Fred, big specimen at 6'7", 280 pounds.
And Ron, his sophomore year, a virus got into his heart. He lost endurance and fatigued, and for his conditioning, he'd walk around the field. He missed the most of the first half of his sophomore year, but he's healthy now.
Third down. The 47.5 across midfield is where Michigan needs to take it if they're going to keep this drive going. Nabar threw it behind Thomas. That pass route that far with the wind is a really hard route to throw.
Ron, it took too long. He's got to get the ball to him now, earlier, and he threw it behind him. So again, it doesn't look to me like John DeVar playing with a lot of confidence.
Epstein again to pass. It's a good pass. This is his best kick of the night. This spiral is going to turn over and caught at the 10-yard line by Wilson. And Wilson, some good coverage by Michigan. 44 yards in a kick and 9 on a return, and Lassier is the man who made the tackle. 3:04 left until halftime. Let's take a break. Now they're riding the bikes, getting exercise, and they're watching the ball game. And you might say, well, why aren't those students here? Because there was a sign on every corner of the stadium. The game is sold out tonight. But those students obviously got in line ahead of those who were overworking out.
They're exercising more than the ones in the bicycle. Now, if you're Michigan here, you think about, you've got 3 timeouts. You want to hold Illinois here, get good field position, and get a shot before you go in at half with the wind.
Rocky Harvey comes back in at tailback, number 23. And he'll get the ball. Spins past the tackler. That's going to be a gain of about 7. And let's check with Brian Kenny. Brian.
Well, guys, coming up, SportsCenter in-game at the half. The American League races a big change in the wild card. We'll talk about the A's and the Mariners. The Olympic update as well. Marion Jones winning the 100-meter. And Chris Lee and Kirk are in Oregon, ready to talk about the Ducks and the rest of the day in college football. Guys?
All righty. We're tied at 7. Michigan and Illinois. Michigan dominated the first quarter, but then an error on the special teams, and the Illini got on the board. Kittner is hit as the ball is thrown, and Brackens is the man who came in and put the pressure on him.
And this is an offense that came in and only has given up 3 sacks coming into this football game. They've given up 1 tonight, I believe. but they're rushing Kurt Kittner. Eric Brackens with good pressure. Didn't give him a chance, and he had an open receiver.
It was Kashuma who was trying to cover. Alain Kashuma, a redshirt freshman out of Montreal, Quebec. And he had his back to the ball. It almost hit him in the back. But they are fortunate that Brackens got the pressure on the quarterback. This time they rolled the pocket. Complete at the 30-yard line to Harvey, and Harvey will take it across the 35. Good for the first down. He's an amazing guy because they say he's 5'9". He doesn't look that tall.
No, he rushed for 700 yards his freshman year, not highly recruited out of high school. He and Antonio Harris, who he splits time with, they're both out of the Chicago Public League.
And you know, they competed against each other as far as rushing yardage and everything in high school, but now it's an interesting thing with maturation and how kids grow. They pull hard for each other. They're just as long. Both want to play, but they like to see success by the other guys.
Without a doubt.
Pumped it. Gonna go on top. First guy out to practice. He falls at the 30. Moorhead, and will be tackled inside the 10. Packman saved the touchdown.
Same play earlier. They tried the old pump fake, and this time they got Patman on it. Aaron Moorhead, number 86, with the catch. Here's the pump. You see the defender, Patman, just stop, and Moorhead makes the catch.
Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator, has got to be saying, hey, guys, they ran it on us earlier. We bit both times. So the Fighting Illini doing just that, fighting back into a ball game that looked as though they were not going to find something to conquer the running game of Michigan. All of a sudden, they're in a position to go in leading at halftime.
Yeah, Ron, I really believe we're going to see Henson here in this series. I said the last series, but Michigan needs something to happen on offense. Illinois has really done a good job on offense.
They've done a great job of adjustments, haven't they?
They really have. Short passing game, the pump on the deep throw, and the good play calling by Ron Turner.
And that also is where the veteran quarterback comes into play. And Kittner, certainly a veteran. You saw his numbers off the top of the telecast in last year's game. Well, this scoring drive aided by the big 59-yarder. 5 plays, 80 yards in a minute and 22 seconds. But the pump fake, and we talked about his long throw, even into the wind. That was a nice job.
That was right on the money to Moorhead. Michigan still has their 3 timeouts left.
On the ground, J.J. Tubbs, the man who kicked it off, and very wisely, Orr recovers the ball, not being a ball carrier, instructed by the special teams coach, take the ball and recover it.
I believe I'd have tried to move forward about 5 or 6 yards and give my offense a little better field position, but now we're going to see Drew Henson. Talking to him yesterday, Ron, he just talked about getting back on the field.
Well, the announcement is made as you look at Navarre on the sideline. The Michigan faithful excited about seeing number 7 back in the lineup. And he'll start it off going from the shotgun. Henson's pass, got it complete. That's Walker. Dodges one tackler out of bounds to stop the clock at the 1:31 mark as Anthony Hurd makes the tackle.
Ron, he has a collection of wide receivers here, and he's also got the A train back there for a draw and a pass out of the backfield. So he's got Illinois spread out.
Mike, yesterday when he came out, we noticed he got a pad, a special pad that they were going to put tape over, and you see like a lump on that right foot. It's in case he gets stepped on, that all of a sudden would not re-fracture that bone. To the other side with this one. Got it complete. Across midfield and down to the 47-yard line is James Whitley, who also was a cornerback.
Yeah, I talked to Stan Parrish, and he said he's been throwing for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Now, he hadn't been able to move. There's Stan Parrish making the play calls right here. But he hasn't been able to move. He practiced this week, so his timing is not 100%. But as you see him come out here, he's got a lot of zip on his ball.
Yeah, he does. Completed his first 2. Drops very deep on this one. Now pressure from the backside. And was he in bounds? No. Caught it out of bounds at the 43. And again, it's Whitley. And let's check in with Adrian.
A little bit more on that small white pad you were mentioning a few minutes ago, Ron. It weighs just over 2 ounces, as you say, goes to the outside of his right shoe. He actually, when he taped that up so tightly tonight, he had the trainers put it a little bit lower on his shoe. So when he goes back and plants that right foot to go throw the ball, that actually gives him more stability on the outside of his foot, practically making the bottom of his foot a little bit wider.
Okay, Adrian. 2nd down and 10. Again, they go from the shotgun. Got this one wide open as Thomas breaks a tackle at the 35 and almost broke loose from that one. He picked up a couple of more yards, good for 14.
Yeah, when you have a back like Anthony Thomas and you just drift him out of the backfield, everybody's dropping deep for Illinois. They're trying to make sure they smother the wide receivers, but Anthony Thomas is wide open anytime he wants him.
61 seconds left in this first half. Illinois leads 14-7. Michigan driving, and now Henson's going to run the ball. And now defeating it over on the sideline. The head coach said after the first step, slide.
And they got to use their timeouts here pretty soon. They've got 3 timeouts left. They're going to use one.
So timeout, we'll take it with them. 49 seconds left until halftime. Illinois leads. Michigan is driving. Illinois leads at 14-7. And a reminder, next Saturday on ESPN, it's College Game Day at 11 a.m. Eastern. And followed by number 17, Illinois, heading north to Minnesota to battle the Golden Gophers. And a primetime game is at 7:30. Running back Travis Henry. And number 13, Tennessee, takes on the Tigers of LSU down in Baton Rouge. And for more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Drew Henson, for those who do not follow Michigan, injured that foot back in preseason and has been rehabbing and actually is ahead of schedule according to some, is he not?
A couple weeks.
3 of 4 for 34 yards. Here comes the blitz. Gets this one nicely. There's Terrell, and he's going to be stopped at the 20. Anthony Hurd on the tackle.
Use a timeout. And Michigan, as you pointed out, they charged the last timeout to Illinois. So Michigan still has 3. They're going to use 1.
And let's check in with Adrian.
Ron, on ESPN.com, keyword Ask Adrian. Andy Keller of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, was one of many people who logged online and asked me to explain the significance of the columns here at Memorial Stadium. As usual, ask and you shall receive. Memorial Stadium, dedicated in 1924 as a tribute to all the Illinois students who lost their lives during World War I. Now, there are 200 granite columns throughout the stadium, and on each one of them, you'll find the name of the student who was killed. For example, Truman O. Arvig, who died in 1918, was a first lieutenant with the 129th Infantry. You know, I think a lot of people walk past these columns to watch a college football game, never knowing the significance of them. But now, hopefully they do, just because a lot of you logged on.
All right, Adrian, as we talked about off the top of the telecast tonight, this stadium was built, constructed originally in 1923. And, of course, there have been some changes and additions made to it. But great info there, Adrian. I'm sure you're right. A lot of people have walked by those columns and had no idea the significance.
They will now.
2nd down and 7 as we go back to play. The ball just inside the Illinois 20. Here comes the blitz by the backers, and they go to the draw play. Here's Thomas, tries to get to the outside, and still on his feet. Will get by the tackle of Eugene Wilson as he bowled him over, and that extra effort picked up the first down. Steve Hutchinson, 76, with an outstanding block.
Good call by Stan Parrish. You go under center and run the draw. Draw has been successful early. Now you get the blitz. Bobby Jackson, number 2, was on the blitz. See how tough it is to bring Anthony Thomas down. He just runs over.
And you notice his knees never went down. So the extra effort by the guy that they call the A-Train, and he's over 100 yards in this first half of play. Mike, right now they've just used another timeout. They still have one left. Would you go for the end zone here on first down?
Well, they got time, Ron. And I'll tell you one thing I've seen right now. Michigan players have a bounce in their step right now. The receivers know they're going to get the ball on time. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here, but it looks like Michigan's players have bought into Drew Henson being on the field, and they're excited about him being on the field.
And, of course, this is nothing against John Navarre. It's just really the fact that Johnny stepped in and did some really good work under some extremely tough pressure. And now Drew is almost 100% again, and they got the experienced guy.
And Ron, I believe we'll see John Navarre in the second half, because I don't know how long Drew Henson can play in this game.
33 seconds left. Michigan has one more timeout remaining. Going to put one in the end zone. Too tall. Terrell is the guy that he wanted. He had a touchdown pass last week against UCLA, but he just out-jumped the defenders.
There was 3 UCLA defenders on that play. They double covered him. A safety came off. But then when you look back, David Terrell was a 4-year letter winner in high school basketball in Richmond, Virginia, averaged 20 points. So he has that leaping ability to go up and grab a high pass.
But I asked Lloyd Carr, I said, would he play any defense? He was very quick to say no. But now, he said, when we play Purdue, somebody that uses 5 receivers at a time, we might slip into that side of the ball. On second ago, you see the blitz coming up the middle. Puts air into this one. And Terrell, oh boy, probably should have caught that one. I don't know if he looked back on the lights or what.
He got twisted up. Trayvon Waller is banging him pretty good coming off the ball. Trayvon Waller against David Terrell. Corner route, he's right with him, but he just looked like he lost his footing.
It is third down. 25 seconds showing on the clock. 1 Michigan timeout left, so if they do try to run the ball, they can still stop the clock if they don't get it in the end zone. Wants to throw, though. Steps up, and now here comes Henson, going to run it. Backs up and throws it. Almost throws a pick. Trayvon Waller, the man we were talking about, as a flag is down. Was he beyond the line of scrimmage, Mike?
I don't think so. Now, there may have been a lineman downfield. We're going to find out.
Illegal forward pass.
Yep, he was across. They're going to be forced with the field goal attempt.
Well, that penalty's loss of down. So Epstein comes on. He's 1 of 4. His longest 27 yards against Rice, but he's got the wind behind him. This is going to be an attempt of 32 yards. Good pass. He missed it. Wide left. Epstein only 1 of 5 on this young season.
Trayvon Waller really got pressure on the kick. Well, looked like it went over the goalpost, but he did not get that call. It is no good.
So wide to the left, and you can see Illinois lined up. They have Actually, Walter Young back behind the quarterback after he takes a knee, and Kittner goes down to a knee, and they head to the locker room. And what a momentum builder for Illinois, beyond the touchdown that they scored to put them on top, to stop Michigan, and no points on the board.
Coach, very frustrating first half. I think the last series really indicated that. What do you tell the team in the locker room?
Well, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. We just got to do a better job of the kicking game, and we're playing good defense. We got to come out and play a great second half. I like the way Drew played right there at the end.
Who starts at quarterback in the second half for you?
Henson.
Okay, Ron.
Okay, good hustle there, Adrian. We are at halftime with our score. They head to the locker room. Illinois 14 and Michigan 7. Now at Sports Center in-game, Brian Kenny with the Buick. Mentioned a couple of times in the first half of play. They don't play a lot of night games here in the Big Ten Conference. We're obviously glad to be here, and the folks are having a lot of fun. Mike, what do you look for at the start off of the second half? It's going to be Illinois getting the football and the win.
Well, Michigan's got to stop them, and then Drew Henson's got to perform some magic here in the offense. But special teams really has been the story of the first half. It helps Michigan right off the bat. Walter Cross takes the snap, and he gets a big gainer, and that led to the touchdown. But then Hayden Epstein came back on the field, and now he has to punt the ball. He can't get it off. Should have taken a safety, tried to get it off, and then that led to a Illinois score, and then he missed a field goal that was very, very close. And now Jeff Delverne is warming up, so we'll probably see him in the second half.
Well, the stats in the first half look this way. 159 yards rushing to 42. Total yardage, Michigan 227 to 182. Time of possession heavily in Michigan's favor, but
a lot of time, but only 7 points. So Anthony Thomas had 100 yards, but they didn't take advantage of it. They need to throw on first down a little bit more this half.
See if he kicks this in the air or squibs it. Nope, going to squib this one as well. From the 20. That's a nice return, and it was Jameel Cook, 19 yards on the return. Adrian, what do you got for us?
Ron, I caught Coach Ron Turner coming out of a very enthusiastic, very emotional Illini locker room, as you can imagine. But you know something he said, Adrian, that may be the problem here in the second half. Yeah, we played a lot of enthusiasm and maybe too much emotion in the first half. Sometimes overrunning our coverages on punt coverage or kickoff coverage. Maybe overrunning where the tackle ought to have been made rather than where we did make it. Keep your emotions in check, and some very good things could happen to us in the second half.
I'm going to have some more on that in just a moment from our conversation with you. That's a good point, Adrian. They got the pass complete to Cook, and he will be pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 8 yards. One of the things he also said in a meeting yesterday, I said, just how big is this ball game? And he said, it's awfully big, but you have to be careful because you put too much into it, and all of a sudden you can want something too badly. And he said, huge, yeah, but we got to look at it as getting win number 4.
Yeah, I think the community really looks at this as a big ball game. But this football team, it's the game that's this week. But they have good focus.
Linebacker blitz pass is almost picked off. McGoey is the man who actually wound up with the football, but he trapped it on the ground after it was tipped.
And what I mean by that, Ron, is when I watched practice on Wednesday, their players were bouncing around. They were having fun. And football is fun when you win, and it can be fun. Ron Turner and his staff have made it that way. So this ball club is excited about playing.
You know what he was doing Thursday afternoon? He was throwing fade routes. He was alternating with the quarterback, and he was throwing them very well. The kids were loving it. They were glad that their head coach was a part of that. Cook, they fake it to him. Got the tight end right there. That is Whitman. And Whitman will be spilled once he goes inside the 45. It is a gain of 13 yards in the play at an Illinois first down.
Yeah, good design on this play. Good play fake by Kurt Kittner, and then Josh Whitman blocks and then releases and really puts Michigan in a bind. Here's the fake, good fake, and now pressure, but wide open Josh Whitman.
Did the best thing that you can do when you're taking on a guy who's 250 pounds, and that is just rolling. Cook the setback, he gets the handoff, gets a blocked and hit in the backfield, and And a swarming Michigan defense. He will wind up with a gain of a couple. Petrozello was the first man, number 96, and in Brackens also helping out. So we've just completed the first minute of the second half. The Illini deferred when they won the toss to start the ball game. And they took it with the wind to open this third quarter. Sweep, this is Cook, cuts it up at the 35, and is going to be ankle tackled at the 31 by Victor Hobson. And the Illini came up with something at halftime. They found some little cracks here and there.
Well, I like their design because you hit them inside, and then you hit them with a play-action pass away from the run, then you go outside. So they got good mix in their play calling right now for the Illini.
Jameel Cook, we talked about, he had an outstanding game last week against Cal, and just continuing. Junior out of Miami, Florida. Faked it to Harris, dumps it off in the flat, and here's Cook trying to do also what he does very well. But that time defensively, Hobson was there, and then he got a lot of help from his defensive friends.
Kurt Kittner in the first half had a couple long throws, Ron. One good protection. Michigan really didn't blitz him much, and then there was a drop by Moorhead, and then he catches the pump fake and gets the cornerback to bite, and then gets the touchdown. So he aired it out quite well in the first half. And you see his passing chart. He had 5 attempts deep into the wind and the one for the touchdown.
We talked about in the first half, and his long ball is very, very good. This is Harris. He finds a lot of running room right up the middle. That gain is going to be close to 10. In fact, they're going to say it's 11 yards on the play. Well, Jameel Cook this time as a blocker.
Well, he's a pass receiver and he's a blocker, but the offensive line also opens this thing up. But watch him fullback, number 34, Jameel Cook. He's not going to knock you out of there, but he chops you because he's a former tailback. He's not going to kill anybody on the running back, but on the block, but he just does a nice job on Larry Foote.
Started to say Foote, the mid linebacker, is the guy that he took out of the play. Jameel will get a breather for just a second. Step, breaks the tackle, and he is inside the 20 to the 18. Lassire on the tackle.
Again, give credit to Illinois' offensive line. Doing a good job of opening up this Michigan defense.
The other thing that Von Turner said yesterday in our meeting, I asked him about that offensive line, and he said, I like this offensive line. He said, they can have their own way. They are mean, and they are tough. And they're also veterans. That gain about 4 yards as Curry will come up and make the tackle. Now some shoving after the play was over, and Antonio Harris had been brought to the artificial turf.
And that's what's happening. Julius Curry has to come up from the secondary to make a tackle. So you know the defensive linemen, linebackers are getting blocked. Curry has to make the play.
Jameel Cook comes back in, and you have to wonder, maybe Michigan needs to keep an eye on him as far as a pass receiver in this situation.
I would keep an eye on him and everybody else because Michigan's not playing very well in defense.
Kittner going to the end zone, wide open Whitman. Knocks home the extra point. And right now, a favored Michigan team staggering just a little bit, down 2 touchdowns. We go to break. Kirk Kittner throwing to Whitman, 21-7 Illini. The home folks are happy, and for very good reason, as the Illini has now jumped in front of 10th-ranked Michigan by a score of 21-10. And Kirk Kittner, the guy who was the thorn in Michigan's side last year, has picked it up right where he left off in that game.
He has had a very good football game to this point.
Neil Adams with the kick. Walter Cross going to go down to a knee and elects not to return it. Mike, talk about what happened on this touchdown.
Okay, you talked about Jameel Cook. Watch the fullback now as he comes out of the backfield. Michigan has a bust right here because the linebacker, number 17, Foot, is going to go cover number 34. And Josh Whitman, the tight end, just breaks out and up and wide open for the touchdown. A bust in coverage by Michigan.
So just as his head coach said, Drew Henson will open the second half at quarterback. And they turn and give it to Thomas. He's got 5. He's got 7, 8, almost 9 yards. Schumacher will make the tackle on him.
Going again, Ron, talking about the offensive line of Michigan. I think the offensive line of the Illini have played just outstanding football.
Schumacher just threw a shoe, literally, and Long, number 47, is coming to the lineup to replace him. Two tight ends from Michigan on this leg. And they'll have the first down with Anthony Thomas as he'll take it to around the 35-yard line. Chapru, the tight end, is a man who's the lead blocker.
And the difference in what Illinois is doing defensively is they're not giving Michigan a big play. They're making them work. Now, they had over 17 minutes of ball control in the first half and only 7 points. So except for that punt fake where they ran the ball about 50 yards, they have not had a big play against this defense.
Seymour, the tight end, literally got tackled. That's who he was going to go to, and he had just been taken out of the play.
He was the flat receiver. It was a 3-level flood pattern, but Seymour never got to the flat.
Bill Seymour, the nearest receiver.
We talked about how impressive Michigan was off the get-go tonight. First drive, 11 plays, 80 yards. Since that, 39 plays, 162 yards, but no points.
Yeah, and remember the fake punt. That was the big play in that drive.
I guarantee you what Lloyd is saying right there is that should have been defensive holding. John Navarre watches on the sideline, and he started this game. Hinson's pass, got it complete. That's Terrell, and he's going to go backwards. Nice job by Bobby Jackson. And Schumacher out there as well.
Yeah, Bobby Jackson, as the coach has said, one of the hardest hitters on the team. Leading tackler and most productive player second half of the last season on defense.
It's going to be a loss of 8 yards. And his younger brother, Mark, also obviously from Corvallis, is a sophomore, and he is a safety.
And his dad is a coach on the staff, so found his way from Oregon to Illinois.
Third down and 8. They need to take it to the 45-yard line to keep this drive going. Hinson under pressure. Got it complete, and that should be enough for the first down. Now, the receiver, Terrell, came back, and when he did, boy, Mike, this is going to be awfully close.
I think he got a bad spot because I think it's 4th down here, Ron. I don't believe he made it. David Terrell not happy about that spot.
Attention, James and Lynn, please report to the East Information booth. James and Lynn Copes, please report to the East Information booth. Thank you.
The way things are going, I believe you got to go for it even if you don't make it.
Ron Turner has stepped out there to help officiate by saying, but he stepped out of bounds here. Hinson goes to the sideline to visit with the coaches as they have to bring the chains from all the way across the field. And Mike, you're right, he did not make it. When he retreated for that short bit And you got to punt this ball in this situation, don't you?
I think you got to go for this because you've lost momentum. You can't. You're having a hard time stopping the Illini offense. I believe you got to go for this. Now, Drew Henson does a good athletic pirouette here to get out of trouble and get the ball to David Terrell. But I really do think it was a bad spot on Terrell's catch.
He certainly was across that point, then retreated just a bit. But to the field of play in the situation, it is 4th down and inches. Illinois leads it by 14, 21-7. We have 8:29 to play in the 3rd quarter. Here come the Wolverines. Henson, quarterback sneak. He'll have it. Behind Brandt, Hutchinson, and Mast.
First down, Michigan.
And, of course, Henson himself is 6'4", 220 pounds. Can have a lot to go behind that huge offensive line.
Yeah, this is an offense. That's why I thought Lloyd Carr would go for it. It's not in sync tonight, and you can't. You need all the opportunities you're going to get in this ball game to put points on the board. They need something easy, some big play to Marquise
like Illinois
Walker.
took advantage of that special teams.
Yeah, or David Terrell. Somebody's got to break, or Anthony Thomas. They need a big play.
Askew in motion, blocking in front, and here comes Thomas. Boy, if he had not lost his footing, he had cut back against the grain, and the linebackers, for the most part, had overrun it, except one person. Wakefield tripped him up.
Yeah, I read something about Anthony Thomas where he thought about the draft coming out earlier, and he said his mom sat down with him, and he knew he'd break her heart if he didn't stay with Michigan and didn't see it all the way through. Going to be a good pro football player.
Well, he had a run of 68 yards and a touchdown in that UCLA game when they caught UCLA punching at the line of scrimmage and gambling. And that's the play that Mike was talking about. But Illinois has not afforded that opportunity tonight. Here's the draw play. And Thomas will be shot. He's going to be stopped after a short gain as Jason Eberhardt will make the tackle on him, and also Young helped out, number 52.
Even the fans are trying to help the Illinois defense by yelling draw. They've seen draw so much tonight. They yell draw, and they try to get them to react and get off blocks, but they're playing the draw a lot better than they did in the first half.
Two tight ends again for Michigan, Joffre and Seymour. It is 3rd down. They want to keep this football. They got to take it just inside the Illinois 45-yard line. Henson wants to go long for Terrell, and he caught it. Now did he push off? There are no
Ball is
flags.
caught by
The
Terrell.
defensive back questioning the officials. That's good for 38 yards.
There's a flag down around the 40-yard line, but not on the catch.
Defensive holding against Illinois.
We talked about David Terrell being a 4-year letter winner in basketball and averaging 20 points. Well, he went up for a rebound on this catch. He snatched it out of the air.
And David Terrell knows, as the rest of this veteran offensive team, that there's no need to panic. There's a lot of football left here. We're just midway through the 3rd quarter. They're down by 2 touchdowns. But if they tag one in right here, then a brand new ball game.
You got to think touchdown here. Your field goal kicking is not good right now, not consistent. You've got to knock 7 in here.
From the 11, Thomas cuts back in behind those big blockers, and he will go down after a gain of about 4. Wakefield grabbed him by the jersey and helped bring him down.
David Terrell talked about defensing Eugene Wilson, but he got behind him, a little nudge there, and then watch him go up and make that catch. Great concentration.
It really was. 11th play of this Michigan drive. Seymour in motion. he was going to drill it. All of a sudden realized he was throwing into coverage and tried to pull it back.
Ron, he was covered like a blanket. This again, scouting report, Illinois knows that they're going to try to throw the ball in the slant to David Terrell. They had him well defended on that.
Again, credit to Tim Kish, the defensive coordinator, and his staff on a good job of preparation.
Very good job of preparing for this Michigan offense. They had trouble just before half getting it in from here.
Third down. They can pick up a first down without scoring, but they'd have to take it to the half-yard line. Henson going to run it at the 5. He will score.
Drew Henson has come in this ball game and sparked life into his offense. Now his defense needs to pick it up. And well, let's see if Del Verne will be the kicker here, Ron.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. You got to turn sideways a bit. It's not Epstein. Yeah, that's who it is. Jeff Del Verne. Good pass from center, and he knocks it home. And with 5 minutes, 21 seconds left to play in the third quarter, our new score, Illinois 21 and Michigan 14. 12 plays in the drive, 80 yards, using 5 minutes and 26 seconds. So let's take a break. Drew Henson puts them within a touchdown. ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. And by MSN. Visit us at msn.com. Well, some of the sights and sounds around Memorial Stadium on this capacity house night, and the Illini faithful loving it right now. Now Michigan has cut into the 14-point lead. It's now 21-14, but it has been very, very loud. Epstein will kick it off. This is a good kick into that wind. Very high and to the 3-yard line. This is Rocky Harvey. Took a shoulder-high stab there on a flying tackle. Well, college football next Saturday on ESPN2 at 8 o'clock Eastern. The BYU Cougars and the Syracuse Orangemen both need to get some momentum going. Lavelle Edwards in his final season in Provo. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Kirk Kittner, he has been magnificent again tonight. 14 of 22.
As you say, great statistics. Only thrown 1 interception this year.
This is Cook. And let's check in again with Brian Kinney. Brian, what do you have for us?
Ron, USC turning things around on San Jose State. Petros Papadakis plunging in here from 5 yards out with a 2-point conversion. It was 27-24. They just picked off a pass on San Jose State. USC, by the way, paying for the privilege of this tough game, $350,000 appearance fee.
All righty, so the Trojans in a tough one out on the left coast. We got a good one going here. As you see, the clock is now under 5 minutes to play, third quarter. Here comes the blitz. Kittner, short drop, throw the pass complete. And that's going to be good out to the 26-yard line. McGoey is the man that he picked up. And I don't know if that was his read in picking up the blitz, but it was a nice job.
Yeah, he really did a nice job. When you see the blitz come, your receiver will make the short cut, shorten their route. Kirk Kittner and he were on the same page.
Third down conversions. Baked it to Harvey. Drilled this one. And here comes a flag. And there's no way that McGoey was going to catch that football. That thing was thrown so hard and low. It looks like Lassere is the man they're going to get.
Jeremy Lassere, redshirt freshman. And it was unanimous by all the officials. They all threw their flags. Play action pass, 3rd and short, figuring Michigan was going to be up there tight, trying to get the ball. And Yes, sir, over the back.
Yeah, he ran all over him just before the ball got there. Sears out of Holly Springs, Mississippi. I asked the coaches how in the world they got him out of Holly Springs. He said it is a Michigan connection. His uncle played for the Wolverines. Mike Harden pumped it once, drills this one, got it complete, just shy of the 50-yard line. Brian Hodges, one of the 2 tight ends, that's good for 14 yards.
No pressure again on Kurt Kittner. When he has time now,
he's a surgeon, isn't he?
He can do some damage to your secondary.
Also, you got to give credit to that offensive line.
Done a good job. When you blitz him, he gets the blitz pass off, and when you sit back, he takes his time and shreds you.
Ball on the 47.
Play, and Harvey tackled by James Whitley. Let's see where they're going to spot him down. That's a gain of about 6 yards, almost 7 on the play.
On first down, they've been ahead of the chains ever since the second quarter. Ron Turner calling the plays.
This time it's Jameel Cook, the lone setback behind Kittner. Got it complete. Greg Lewis, nope, incomplete. Beg your pardon.
James Whitley really came up with great contact on Greg Lewis.
James Whitley.
Go back to the huddle if I was Greg Lewis and say, let's don't try that one again.
He erased that one from the chart.
I can tell you that's not going to work.
For the Illini, ball on the 46.
Third down, they need to take it to the 43-yard line to keep this one going. Pressure up the middle. It is inside the 10-yard line. 37 yards.
Jameel Cook with a nice block that gave time for Kurt Kittner to get this pass off. Man coverage. James Whitley against Greg Lewis, and Greg Lewis wins. What a great job by Jameel Cook, picking up the linebacker stunt.
Cook has done a little bit of everything tonight. Looks like Brackens was shaken up and he's being helped off the field.
He ran into Cook, Jameel Cook.
Being assisted off the field for Michigan. Harry Brackens, number 51. That was a 37-yard pass play.
Brackens, as he goes to the sideline, he has had 7 tackles tonight. Antonio Harris back in at tailback. They fake it to him. Lobs it at the 10-yard line. That is an outstanding open field tackle as Whitman caught the pass, and Julius Curry, who has been a big surprise for this Michigan defense in the early going, took his feet right out from under it.
I still like the play calling, even though that didn't gain an inch. But when you do that kind of action with your quarterback, you wear defensive linemen out, and you move the pocket around so the quarterback's not standing always in a drop-back situation.
Well, 3 for 3 inside the 20 for the Illini. Lewis in motion. Harris ran into a wall at the line of scrimmage. The first part was Rumashek. And then some more of the wall fell on him, and it's going to be a loss of about a yard on the play, and now third down.
Michigan bringing in all the defensive backs now, expecting to pass. Kurt Kittner has been on target tonight.
Rumashek is one of those kids that came on during the spring and has really improved. He's only a sophomore. Kittner has really heated up after the first 20 minutes. 14 of 19. It's Harvey behind him this time. Pumped it. Goes across the middle, has it complete, but the tackle, I think they're going to give him progress to about the 7-yard line, but that is it. And immediately the special teams comes on, and it looks as though Steve Fitz is going to be in to try a field goal.
Yeah, Todd Howard made the tackle for Michigan.
Closing moments of the third quarter. Illinois trying to go on top by 10. 24-yard attempt. Got a good pass. The kick is up, and he got it. 22 seconds left in the third quarter. Let's take a break. Our new score: Illinois 24 and Michigan 14. The weather people, I hope we can hang on for 15 minutes and 22 seconds more, because they talked a lot about rain tonight. It's been a marvelous night. You know, Adrian just told us during a timeout, Illinois may have really received a break from Mother Nature here, because that wind that was really a deciding factor on a couple of situations in the first half, it's died down.
In the fourth quarter, Michigan would have had that wind at their back, so Adrian's saying now that's not a benefit.
Neil Adams will kick it off. You saw Fitz on the sideline as he knocked home the field goal. Cross in for Michigan. Cross. Nice open field tackle. Let's check in with Brian Kenny.
Ron, let's go to Alabama and Arkansas. Tied up 7 apiece here. 4th and goal. Now Alabama going to Brandon Myree. In he goes. 14-7 Alabama. Of course, Crimson Tide trying to bounce back from the shutout loss to Southern Miss. Southern Miss into the ratings and leading Oklahoma State 14-3.
Hey, listen, Southern Miss, when we saw them against Tennessee, we knew they were a good football team. They're wreaking havoc with everybody, aren't they?
Alabama, they turned their season around last year in this Arkansas game. So maybe that's what they can do again.
Henson again at quarterback. You just joined us. Navarre started, but Henson playing for the first time this year, and it is Perry. One tackler was there at the 40-yard line as he broke it big, and almost that big play that Mike Gottfried was talking about. Abdullah saved it, gain of 22.
Yeah, Mohamed Abdullah made a Thorpe Award candidate, third leading tackler on this football team, may have made the biggest tackle tonight. Should be the end of the quarter.
That's going to be the final play as they whistle the game clock back in. 1 second and zeros, and we'll take a timeout. We'll head to the final 15 minutes of this one with our score: Illinois 24 and Michigan 14. Let's take a break. The final quarter from Champaign with Illinois leading by 10, 24-14. Michigan got on the scoreboard first. They took the opening possession 80 yards and scored. And then, because of an error on the special teams and a bad snap, Illinois came back and tied it at 7. And since then, the Illini really with a lot of momentum in this game. Straight ahead with this handoff, and that's Chris Perry. We'll see, you saw the fake right behind the give to Perry, and we'll see if they come back with that same play and run that reverse. Well, tonight's Aflac trivia question. Michigan's Anthony Thomas has 37 career regular season touchdowns, yet he's never caught a touchdown pass. Who has scored the most career touchdowns in NCAA history without ever making a touchdown reception? We'll have the answer later on. Second and 8. Henson. Got to it. And there is the big play Mike Gottfried was talking about. Touchdown, Michigan. 57 yards.
Drew Henson has come in here and made a difference in this offense. David Terrell with big catches. Almost looks like he pushes off a little bit on this catch. See if we can see it. He's got Trayvon on his hip.
Trayvon Waller, the man trying to cover him. But Terrell, being 6'3", and with the speed that he has, That's a tough combination to beat. Extra point attempt up and is good. And it was Jeff Delverne with the extra point. And with that, opening this fourth quarter, our new score, Illinois. Now their lead is cut to 3. Skedaddle time. All righty, David Terrell. By the way, it ties his longest, 57 yards. 6 receptions, 116 yards, an average of almost 20, and a touchdown. Epstein will kick it off, and he has the light breeze, that's what it is now, to his back. Wilson and Harvey, the 2 men deep for the Illini. Well, Epstein kicks this one out of the back of the end zone, so Illinois will take it over at the 20-yard line.
This is the series right here. Michigan's defense has to come out here and stop this Illini offense. Otherwise, you get to matching points. And Michigan wanted a little bit of a wind in the fourth quarter. Doesn't have much, but this is a big drive as far as I'm concerned.
Michigan coaches are going crazy right there, and it's going to be called a catch by Greg Lewis.
That's a gutsy call on that bench.
23 yards.
Yeah, Lloyd's not arguing, so he must have added in. Yeah, he had a foot down, left foot down. He had his toe down. Good call again. Kurt Kittner getting out of the trouble and being on his own 20-yard line.
This is Harris. When he gets blasted by Anthony Jordan, Jr. out of Jersey City, New Jersey. You're right. That's a tough call right in front of that bench.
Right in front of that bench, because you figure everybody's yelling at you that he's out of bounds, but they made the tough call. And then Lloyd Carr didn't argue. He might be arguing now. A little late.
Trying to make his point. That's for next time if there's a close one. Whitman in motion. Harris again. Got through a small hole and then gets blasted back by Victor Hobson. Hobson has had a nice game tonight. Sophomore out of Mount Laurel, New Jersey. 6'1", 242 pounds. Hobson now with 7 tackles, 3 solo. Bracken, 7 tackles for him as well. Jackson has 9 for Illinois, and Franklin has 6. Third down. The line to make. They need to take it to the Michigan 47-yard line. 3-point Illini lead. Kittner got by the blitzing defender. And 40 yards.
Picking on Todd Howard. And the one-on-one situation. Kurt Kittner shows you he can throw the deep pass. Good pass protection. Side steps. The blitzing linebacker.
Lassere actually is who he got by, yeah.
Todd Howard just lost the football.
He sure did. He got turned around and ball identification went out because he couldn't find
his
it.
Head turned.
Jameel Cook. Take it inside the 10. He's down around the 8.5-yard line. Bobert and Kashuma. Alain Kashuma, redshirt freshman out of Montreal, Quebec.
Both offenses tonight have exploded here. Second half of this ball game. It's not been a good defensive night.
Kerry Davis, number 24, comes into the lineup. First time we've seen him tonight. Redshirt freshman. Where's number 24? He gives to Harris. Big opening. Flag goes down. That's going to be holding against Illinois. The umpire threw it.
Hobson, number 6.
Interesting, and I asked him yesterday how much he and Norv talk. And he said, I just got off the phone with him. He said, we talk a lot. I said, how much business and how much family? And he said, it's about half and half. And I said, when you talk football, what are you talking? He said, there are times when what I want to... He said, what I want to find out is I want to reaffirm that what we're doing is right. And he said, that's where he is a tremendous help to me.
And he's got a great relationship with his quarterback, Kurt Kittner. A very close relationship.
So that holding penalty, it pushes it back to the 17. So it actually happened beyond the line of scrimmage. The flag was thrown at the 7. Now it's back to the 17. It is second down to Illinois. Here comes the blitz. Going to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown, McGoy.
Pass interference. Defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, the touchdown.
Good heavens. This secondary for Michigan has been torched tonight.
Torched by a very good quarterback that knows what he's doing.
Takes for the extra point attempt right down the middle. So look at this situation. 10 minutes, 54 seconds left in our ball game. And our new score now, Illinois 31 and Michigan 21. As we go to break, let's watch it one more time. Eric McGoy, and that flag for interference was against Michigan. Touchdown, Illini. ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Dodge. In a perfect world, everything would be different. And by new Beck's Light. All bottle, no compromise. Look for Beck's Light in a clear bottle wherever you buy Beck's. Well, if you just walked into your living room, here is the scoring drive. As you look at the score, Illinois up by 10, 31-21, just under 11 to play in the scoring drive. 7 plays, 80 yards. McGoy with the 17-yard touchdown pass. This afternoon, Northwestern upset Wisconsin. Tonight, Michigan favored in this ball game. Are we about to see another upset? Opening weekend of the Big Ten. You on the return. Here comes a late flag in as the return went back to the 50.
BJ Askew.
So Michigan's going to start off with very good field position.
Randy Walker, you're talking about the Northwestern upset. Randy Walker and his staff got beat by TCU last week. Started out a couple wins, but a big win today in conference.
They looked very good, like a well-coached football team. And also congratulations to Oregon.
Yeah, good win there.
Michael Otte's done a really fine job at that school.
You talk about Randy Walker. He was a fullback on Dick Crumb's Miami of Ohio teams. He's the best blocking fullback ever saw on tape.
Is that right?
No, he's a pretty good football coach.
Well, with the penalty, they started off in the Illinois territory, and they go with the draw play. Big opening there for Thomas, and he'll go inside the 40, down to around the 38-yard line. Wilson makes the stop. Well, the answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question, who has scored the most career touchdowns in NCAA history without ever making a touchdown reception? The answer, Wisconsin's Ron Dane with 63. And that followed by a couple of other running backs. Steve Owens of Oklahoma, Billy Sims with 50.
I remember Mel Kiper talking about him in the draft. Had 5 catches, I think, at one time.
Chris Perry tightropes down the sideline, gets as much as he can, and I believe he's going to have the first down. Went out of bounds right beyond the sash as Trayvon Waller pushed him out. So it's a 10-point lead for Illinois, but the long kick return following the squib kick and then a 5-yard face mask, and Michigan all of a sudden here is just driving it back down the field again.
No, Ron, the way things are going for Michigan right now, you know they're going to double David Terrell. So Marquise Walker, look, would seem to be the guy they try to get the ball to here.
See 28, Eugene Wilson coming out on him. Pumped it once, pumped it again. And Hinson, under the new rule, you can now do that and not worry about the flag once you're outside the tackles. It was Wakefield who was coming after him, number 99.
Good job on David Terrell there by the Illinois defense. Lined up out here, and they're trying to pump fake and go deep on him. But Eugene Wilson, who's only a sophomore with pretty good coverage.
The other thing you have to worry about, Eugene, they say is 6 feet tall, but you can see there's a lot of difference in height between him and David Terrell. Yeah. For a jump ball, that's difficult. It's Walker in motion. Blitz coming up the middle. They go with the run, and here's Thomas. Still fighting inside the 15-yard line. Abdullah will make the stop. It's a gain of 19.
This is what Michigan had going early. The draw play, the late draw. But then they didn't have any passing game to go with it. So Illinois really shut that down in the second quarter. Now they got good play mix here. Throwing on first down, drawing on second down. Tough to stop them.
Chris Perry, blocker in front. Pedestine at the top. He'll score. 15 yards and the touchdown, and just like that, Michigan right back in this ball game and could cut it to 3. Maurice Williams, the right tackle, a senior out of Detroit, 6'5", 298, with a paving block on the run. Jeff Delverne to attempt the extra point. He gets 5 plays, 45 yards, a minute and 23 seconds. And there you see Perry bolting into the end zone. We got a field goal, 3-point game. Mike, the last man standing is going to be the last team that has the football in this one. By the way, it's time for you viewers to go online and help us select tonight's player of the game. Here's the list of nominees. Henson, Anthony Thomas, David Terrell, Kittner, what about Rocky Harvey? And Jameel Cook has got to get consideration as well. He's had an outstanding game. Log on to ESPN.com now. Cast your vote. We'll announce the winner late in the fourth quarter.
All offensive players tonight.
Well, there hadn't been that much defense tonight, has there? Aiden Epstein to kick it off. And this one here is not going to be returnable either. Greg Davis, or Greg Lewis, I should say, watches that one go out the back of the end zone.
Last drive now, I said that Michigan had to stop them. They didn't. And here's what happened on the last drive. On 1st and 10, Kurt Kittner threw the ball. And a very good catch by Greg Lewis. Then pressure on him. Another receiver, Greg Lewis, made the catch against the defensive back, and then a touchdown. So Kurt Kittner did it to the Michigan defense.
Play action, pressure on him, and boy, Kittner got dumped. As all over him was Larry Stevens, one of the linebackers who was coming off the corner.
Here's the problem with defense against Kurt Kittner. When you come after him, then you're single covering on the outside, and Michigan's defensive backs have not done a very good job of that tonight. So when you don't blitz, they can't get to him with a 4-man rush. He's protected very well, and it carved you up. So pick your poison.
Rocky Harvey tries huge because now the Illini will scrimmage with a third down at a reasonable distance, not a long distance.
Yeah, and it goes back to, again, Ron Turner's done a nice job calling plays tonight because he's kept his offenses in good situations. 3rd and 4 is a lot better than 3rd and 10 if he'd have thrown the ball in an incompletion.
Mike, I'm not sure Rocky got the most advantageous spot. I thought he was out almost a yard and a half more, but they say his knee touched after a 5.5-yard gain. 7 of 12 on 3rd down conversion. Here's that revert. Great job defensively of staying at home, and it's all messed up quickly. Petrozello is the man who stayed at home. He had no place to go, and he slowed it down just enough as a flag has come in late now. Call on sportsmanlike,
maybe on Larry Foote, number 17. Finally stop him and he can get a penalty.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. Celebration after the play. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It was for celebration. And I would assume taunting. You think that you couldn't fry an egg in Lloyd's head right now. Foote really brought that on, though. He really brought that on, and his teammates coming over to get on him then, because as Mike said, they finally stopped him, and now with the penalty, brand new set of downs.
Big penalty there.
Antonio Harris tackled by Dwayne Packman. That's one of those things where play the game, celebrate the way you're supposed to celebrate, and then get to the bench. Right now, he doesn't want to get to the bench because that guy, and he's saying you, and that's exactly who he's talking to, is Foote. You cost us. You could cost us the game ultimately. 2nd and 5. Pressure up the middle by Foote. Pass zings it incomplete, in and out of the hands of Greg Lewis.
I think he's yelling to referee. I don't think he felt that should have been called. And he's going to stay on that guy this entire football game because he believes that shouldn't have been called. And he's going to keep pressing his case.
So now it's 3rd down and 5. Illinois needs to take it to the 46.5-yard line. Kittner, short drop, drills the pass, and with that tackle, Moorhead makes the catch. Let's see where they're going to spot it because Whitley grabbed him.
He's short of the 1st down.
The tackle made by Whitley, number 5.
Got to punt this football. After a long look, Ron Turner sends the punt team out.
Well, we're about to go under 7 minutes. Steve Fitz, the junior out of South Carolina, kicking to Ronald Bellamy. Driving spiral into the wind. Bellamy all the way back to the 12-yard line, signals for the fair catch. And there's a timeout. 43 yards on the punt. 6 minutes. 41 seconds left in our ball game. Lloyd Carr, not a happy man. And we're back as you look at number 17, Larry Foote, and we believe he is the man that was flagged for the unsportsmanlike conduct for taunting. And here's what happened when he got to the bench. And obviously, he's very angry. Now, I thought that Lloyd Carr was screaming at Foote. Mike thinks he was hollering at the official.
No, he was definitely hollering at the official.
Most important thing for this Michigan team right now, we have run off over half the 4th quarter. They're down by 3, and they have the ball at their own 12-yard line. They go with a draw play. Out to the 20-yard line is Anthony Thomas.
Since Drew Henson has come into this ball game, John Navarre led the first drive, but it looked like he was not confident in the second, third, fourth drive. So Drew Henson has come on the football field, and ever since he's been on this field, this offense has been different.
Jumper and Seymour, too tight on the line. That's Jumper in motion. They normally go to him and use him as a blocker, and they do again. And Thomas breaks it. Finally going to be knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 40-yard line by Abdullah. 25 yards in the carry.
Now, go back to Larry Foote's penalty. I think Michigan's defense played a little bit with a little bit more enthusiasm after that. In their offense, you see Anthony Thomas lower his shoulder to Abdullah, and I think that may have sparked this football team. Now, it remains to be seen whether they can win this football game, but from that point on, they seem to be a little bit more aggressive.
5:59 left to play. Illinois leads it by 3. This time they take it to the open side of the field. Thomas behind good blocking and protecting that football almost out to the 50. And again, Maurice Williams, we've called his name a couple of times, so that sweep has gone right of doing a nice job with a paving block.
And Ron, it's almost like a technical foul after a technical foul in basketball. And the big question I had tonight was whether Illinois' defense could hold up in a 4-quarter football game with this offensive line pounding them the entire football game. And they've got their back to the wall now. They've got to get a stop.
Anthony Thomas, 184 yards. That's a season high. Henson under pressure with the play action just over the outstretched hands of Walker.
I like that play call. 3rd and short.
I asked Drew yesterday how frustrating was the injury when it came, and he said, you know, I'm just trying to draw from it and use it as a positive thing to help me on in life.
Yeah, he wasn't disappointed. I mean, he's disappointed, but he kept his perspective. He knew he'd be back.
3rd down, they need 1. They run to the right side behind the blocking of Mast and Williams, and they'll have the first down plus 3.
They took their shot on 2nd and short and knew they felt like Anthony Thomas could pick up the first down.
Thomas goes to the bench. Chris Perry will come back in, number 23. Perry's had a nice game tonight when he did come in from time to time, spelling Anthony Thomas.
He has good speed, breakaway speed.
Boy, this is a runaway 4th period. We're going under 5 minutes already. Perry, 54 yards on 8 carries and a touchdown. And they give it to him right up the middle. Good job of penetration by Fred Wakefield.
Number 23, the ball carrier, Chris Perry.
Well, after our game, it's College Football Tonight scoreboard. Then join Bill Pito and Kenny Mayne for Sports Center.
Back in the football game.
2 wide receivers go left, which means David Terrell and Walker to the top of your screen. Henson, pressure from Wakefield, and he's going to run it, and he'll get out of bounds, and then got hit just as he stepped out of bounds. Bobby Jackson is the man who tackled him.
Bobby Jackson, number 2.
Think in terms of 2 downs here, Ron. Got the good running back, Anthony Thomas. And able to run the ball against this Illini defense.
3rd down. They need to take it down to the 36. Henson, 4 carries, 22 yards tonight, and a touchdown. It's Askew in motion. I'm going to run a play action. Too far in front. It was Askew that he was looking for.
In the pregame, Hayden Epstein was hitting him from the 40-yard line. Ball's on the 42.
Well, his career long is 56 yards. Michigan's going to go for it.
That's down to 11.
Play clock is at 3. It's at 2. He better call timeout. He didn't see it. And it's a quick kick, but there was no whistle.
No flag.
No flag is down, and the ball has gone into the end zone. And see what Ron Turner's saying. Where's my clock and horn I talked about?
That's right. But it worked out well.
It worked out well.
Illinois, because they got the ball in the 20s.
So now the situation, all of a sudden, the clock becomes the enemy of the Michigan Wolverines. 4 minutes and 8 seconds left to play. Illinois leading by 3.
Both teams have their full complement of timeouts.
Antonio Harris, he got stuck by Hobson. That was a good hard-nosed tackle. Foot also there to help out.
Michigan's going to use their first timeout.
So we'll take the break with them. Stadium clock shows 4 minutes exactly left in this one. Timeout Michigan, 31-28 Illinois. Prepared to play this final 4 minutes. Mike, listen to these numbers. Total yards Michigan 479, Illinois 414.
A lot of offense, not very good defense. Jameel Cook, Ron, is the player that Michigan better know where he's at. Number 34 right here. He has been a go-to player the entire game.
Harvey in motion. They leave him in to block this time, though, and it's Harvey who makes the reception. Hobson is there immediately to make the stop after a short gain. Time management at a time like this really becomes important, and that's Michigan has just taken a time and only 7 seconds off the clock.
Well, Ron Turner's standing on this sideline knowing that he's got one play here to get a first down. If he gets a first down, he can run the clock down very, very well. But he cannot afford to give this football back to Michigan's offense.
Let's check on the sideline with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, I love college football marching bands. I always have. A lot of people out there watching us do, and they log on to ask Adrian to do something with the college bands. Well, how about this? 380 members, one of the best bands in the land from Illinois. 260 members from the University of Michigan. Is Adrian going to get out his old trombone and play along? Don'tAsk.com.
The old trombone, and I'll bet he has it under his bed, and I'll bet he brings it out at certain times. Thanks, Adrian.
The band director at Illinois, James Keene, is a graduate of Michigan, so a big game for him tonight.
Time is back in. That means now that Michigan has one timeout remaining, right?
We got one left.
One left.
Big third down.
Illinois needs to take it out to the 30. Good protection. Now it breaks down. The kicker pulls the cut pass, and it's Harvey. Oh, what an open field tackle. That ball came loose. Harvey recovered his own fumble. It was Victor Hobson who just turned him 360 degrees. It also saved a first down, and there's a marker down.
Excellent tackle.
Coach Turner way out on the field, just inside the 30-yard line, because this call, we're talking about the difference in the football game. You see Bobert there, Michigan jumping up and down. They think it is against Illinois.
Got to turn it down. You got to get to force the punt.
Illegal block in the back on the offense. That penalty's been declined. Result of the play was a fumble.
They gave the ball to Michigan. We thought for the world that Harvey had recovered it.
Rocky Harvey was an outlet receiver. There's the excellent tackle. They're saying the ball was out before he hit the ground.
Well, it was coming out. You can see that right there. But I thought that he recovered the ball himself, Mike. See, Harvey comes right up, right here, scoops at the ball.
First turnover for Illinois tonight.
So Michigan has it by way of the turnover at the 26-yard line.
I'd get the ball to Anthony Thomas. It'd be his drive.
They got a blocker in front. That's exactly what they do. He puts a head down and takes it to the 20-yard line before Abdullah and Mike Young combine on the stop.
I wouldn't get fancy here. I'd turn it over to the All-American tailback. Now Ron Turner's got to think in terms of using his timeouts to save some time on the clock in case Michigan scores for his offense.
About to go under 3 minutes left in our ball game. 31-28 Illinois. Thomas again. Burst at speed. 15, 10, 5. Lost football. Has recovered. They say the ground caused it.
Anthony Thomas.
That ball was coming out before his knee went down.
Bobby Jackson on the hit.
Right there.
Yep, it's out.
That ball is out. Brandon Moore had made the recovery, but the officials say no. Here's the fumble at the other end, which, like I said, we thought Harvey made the reception.
I'm not sure if that round didn't cause that fumble.
See, he made the recovery, and then it was taken away. These officials have got a lot to look at after this game tonight, both ways. The right side, touchdown, Anthony Thomas.
Well, this game has just completely turned here in the last 4 minutes. That could have gone either way.
Yeah, exactly.
I really thought Harvey had that football when he hit the ground with his arm. Now, it came out after he hit the ground.
Delverne knocks home the extra point. And now with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in our ball game, it is Michigan who goes on top 35-31.
Here's Rocky Harvey, and I really believe the ground caused this fumble. Now,
watch right here, Mike.
It gets turned up.
It's coming out right there.
He's still got the ball, though. He's still got the ball. When he hits the ground, it comes out.
But it was coming out of it.
I believe he still had it, Ron, in his wrist, in control. Now here, I think he dropped the ball before he got hit, before he hit the ground. Ball's out. Both close.
And the other point, when you look at Rocky Harvey's situation, whether it was a fumble or not, it sure looked like he recovered it and had it taken away underneath the pile.
Now Ron, Kurt Kidner has turned over to him. Come from behind win last year by the Illini, and Michigan coming from behind here.
Well, within one of a career high, but he couldn't care less about the individual thing tonight. He wants a win in this football game. Epstein, the last two that he's kicked off in this direction have been into the end zone and not returned. This one is returnable from the goal line. This is Eugene Wilson. 15, breaks it outside and is going to take it out to the 20-yard line. Monday night at ESPN Classic, the Sports Century Series continues with all-time basketball legend Magic Johnson. Relive all of Magic's great college and professional moments from his 5 championship seasons to 3 league MVP honors. That's on Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. To get ESPN Classic, dial 1-800-CLASSIC. Now the clock, the enemy of Illinois. Kiffner didn't want to take a chance. Still rolling. Now the pressure, and he dumps it off to Cook. And Cook breaks a tackle, takes it out over the 30-yard line.
The Illini have all 3 timeouts.
That'll be a touch. Field goal won't do him any good. This one off. It's Cook again. Out of the 40, 45. Kashuma making the tackle for Michigan.
Michigan's calling for another fumble here. They got it.
Larry Foote has recovered the ball.
Jameel Cook catches the outlet pass. See, I've seen a lot of fumbles tonight. They were close.
That ball was very hard to see when it did come out because Jameel was headed to the AstroTurf, and you could see the shoulder pad came in and knocked the ball away from him. So now Michigan needs to take care of a minute and 59 seconds. And as Mike mentioned, Illinois with all their timeouts left.
Use it here quickly.
Timeout called with 1:53 showing on the clock. And we'll take the timeout with them. Michigan by 4. We'll be right back. Well, you look at Jameel Cook on the sideline. He's really had an outstanding game, and obviously he's bothered because he did fumble the football just as he was going down at the end of the run. And the youngster feeling bad for his team because of turning it over.
Ron, now Michigan, Lloyd Carr has told his offensive line it's time for you to get a first down and finish this game off. Let Anthony Thomas kill this clock.
Illinois has 2 timeouts remaining.
They need a big play on defense. They need to stop, get Kurt Kittner the ball back. They were moving. They were right around the 50-yard line with a minute 50 some to go. Little outlet passes.
Second and 7, the A-Train, and he takes it inside the 40-yard line. He's very close to a first down.
So close to the first down marker. They're going to let this play go and see what happens. Now they're going to use the timeout now. A little late.
Time continued to run off the clock. 1:31 remaining. So Illinois uses their second timeout. They have 1. 1 left. So they lost a few seconds there by not calling the timeout.
They were too late in the timeout call, and I thought what Ron Turner was going to say is they're so close to the first down marker, let them pick the first down up, and then we'll use the 2 timeouts because that'll kill it anyway. And last week, Ron, you talked about this, a 3rd and 1 situation with UCLA trying to get real tight.
Well, this is last year's game, actually. Young. And here's Rocky Harvey in that game last year.
Big plays. Rocky Harvey made them in that win.
Drew Henson seeing his first action back after injuring the foot in preseason. Got to get rid of 91 seconds here. 3rd down and very short. And Thomas again lunging inside the 35. He'll have the first down. Franklin again with the stop.
This is a tough situation for Illinois. Played their hearts out in this football game.
Well, they just called their last time out, so the situation is Michigan with a new set of downs. First down at 10, the ball resting at the Fighting Illini's 34-yard line. 1:27 showing on the clock.
Well, we had a wild finish here at Illinois, and it started with this fumble. There was the first one, Rocky Harvey. Looks like he got it back, and then there may have been some pulling underneath. Then Anthony Thomas comes right back. He gets the benefit of this call. Ball came out.
Brandon Moore recovered, but they say that the ground caused it.
And then Jamil going down. His football came out. So it's been a last 4 minutes of fumbles.
Jamil Cook still concerned, standing on the sideline next to Rocky Harvey. Thomas, 35 carries, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. The first Michigan player to run for over 200 yards since Biaka Batuka did. 313 yards against Ohio State in 1995. Well, he took a knee, and now they can't do anything about this. Well, the voting is complete. Tonight's Visa Player of the Game is selected by the fans at home on ESPN.com. Kurt Kittner, 27 of 38, 333 yards and 2 touchdowns. He received 35.5% of the vote.
Tough vote tonight. You had a lot of players playing very well. Drew Henson came off the bench and led this Michigan team. Anthony Thomas, workhorse in this football game.
Clock runs at 51 and now 50 seconds. And Illinois can't do anything about it because they had just picked up the first down. That's second down as you look into the eyes of Kittner on the sideline, and he knows they are helpless. One more snap. If they whistle it in right now, and they do at 32 seconds. So Michigan will come to the line of scrimmage, take a knee one more time, and this one will go in the books as Michigan gaining revenge after last year's 28 unanswered points in upset at the Big House. Henson down to one knee, and you see the arms go up. Drew Henson is back almost 100%, and Lloyd Carr has to be pleased with the comeback effort by his club tonight.
Drew Henson led this football team. It was a game of Kurt Kittner against Drew Henson. A couple calls that controversial, and they'll be talked about for a long time.
Well, our final score, Michigan 35 and Illinois 31. Coming up next is Sports Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Good night, everybody.